Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Georgia Sports Nation. We got some more Hawks and Braves content coming to tonight for you guys. We got the Hawks, who are gonna play in about an hour and a half here against the Orlando Magic, starting the season 1-0 against a great win versus the Houston Rockets. Dejounte Murray and Trae Young, the All-Star backcourt, did not disappoint in their debut. And then we're also going to be discussing the Braves, who unfortunately, had a rough end to their season. But we're going to be addressing towards the end of the show some of the offseason moves that we think the Braves and Alex Anthopoulos should be making. But without further ado, let's get into it. What do you got to say about the to introduce yourself, Big Ant?
What's going on, y'all? This Big Ant from Atlanta Falcons Nation. Um, I mean, I, I don't know. Like, we just couldn't get anything going in the playoffs for the Braves. So, and it's like our bats went cold, and we forgot how to play defense, and we couldn't pitch, and it was hardening to see it.
I definitely agree. Blackberry, what you got to say about the Braves ending the season like that?
Oh, can't hear.
We can't hear you, Blackberry. I think you're muted.
I got you. I got you. I'm on now. But I'm just gonna give credit to the Phillies, and I'm not gonna make no excuses. Sometimes a team they just they get momentum, they get on the road. Hard to take them off that momentum. Hard to take them off that road. And like Ann said, the bats went cold, and the Phillies got hot.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it for me, man. So, you know, on to the next season.
Definitely. Joshua.
Man, what's going on, man? Roundtable Sports, also known as Joshua. Uh, yeah, like Big Ant was talking about and Blackberry was saying, man, it's disheartening to see. You always want to see your hometown team repeat, but it's hard to repeat. Hadn't been done
Yeah.
since what, about 99, 2000. So
Yeah.
on to the next. We still, division champ, still gonna hold that title and add on to what we got going on, and just I believe in Double A. So let's do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely,
Most definitely.
I definitely think Alex Anthopoulos will make the right decision. Uh, you know, this season definitely had a lot of excitement going into it because we knew our roster was better than the roster we actually won the World Series with last year.
That
And unfortunately, we just couldn't get it done when it mattered. I mean, we seemed like we emptied the tank almost in that Mets series when we swept them to win the division, and it just seemed like like you guys were saying, bats went cold, the pitching wasn't there, and credit to the Phillies, they got lightning in a bottle right now, and I think they're gonna make it to the World Series. I think Houston, if it's a Philly Houston matchup, I think Houston's gonna destroy them. But hey, credit to the Phillies, man. They're going really strong right now. But
Yeah.
but as Michael points out right here, yes, sir, the Hawks were balling on Wednesday. We got our opening night dub against the Rockets. So let's
Yes.
let's get into that recap. Hawks win 117 to 107 versus the Houston Rockets. DeJounte Murray and Trae Young both putting up a 20 and
Mm.
10 game.
Yes,
That's
Yes.
Blackberry's favorite phrase right there. Trade to DeJounte. What you got to say
Trade,
about those two on the recap from Wednesday, Blackberry?
trade to the Dejounte, baby. I love it, man. We had four players with 20 points or more in
Facts.
the game. Uh, you know, some people wanted to point out the rebounds and how we were out rebounded by Houston. Uh,
Didn't
but then I
matter.
say, look at the point totals. I
Yep.
mean, I'll substitute four guys having 20 points or more for being out rebounded by a couple rebounds any day. Uh, they needed the rebounds more than we did. We were making more buckets than they were. So I'm not listen. I'm ecstatic, man. I'm stoked about the Hawks, man, and everything that Travis Schlink and Tony Wrestler envisioned for this team. Those guys to me are going to be Atlanta legends when it's all said and done, bro. Tony Wrestler and Travis Schlenk will be at y'all hear me now when I say this. They will be Atlanta legends when it's all said and done. Them two guys right there. I know this team looks great with the personnel, but it's because of those two guys and the vision that they had. I remember listening to 92.9 a while ago, probably about 3 years ago now, 3 or 4 years ago. And Travis Schlenk was on there. And he said it. He said, we ain't going to shy away from big contracts. We ain't going to shy away from getting big names. This team is going to be different. And it's essentially the same thing Arthur Smith said when he said we changing the culture. And when him and Dean Pease talked about changing the culture, it's essentially the same thing Travis Schlenk said about these Hawks. I'm stoked, man. We got a lot to talk about with him tonight, so I'm gonna let somebody else go because I got a lot more shit to say. But go ahead.
What do you think about the win, Big N? What was the key for the win that really stood out to you?
Man, look, it's like I was saying in the chat earlier, man. Those steals, because I was right there. You know, I was in the building, and that defense, man, it was stifling. They was pickpocketing them all night. It did not stop. And yeah, so what? We gave up a couple of rebounds. I mean, it didn't hurt us. I mean, yeah, they got a couple of, offensive rebounds and, so what?
You can't win in every category,
and Clint,
right?
He didn't really have right. I mean, we can't be perfect every night. That's not going to happen. It's still sports. The other team are professionals as well. So I think we can build on what happened on that first night, and as long as we put that same effort in defense night after night, I have no problem.
I agree. And if you look at as we look at the box score here, we can see that Dejounte Murray with 5 steals in his debut, the Hawks in total got 12 steals and forced Houston into 17 turnovers, my bad, which is a good recipe for winning games. Yep. I mean, you got what Blackberry said, 4 guys in double-digit scoring, or 4 guys over 20 points. John Collins looked like a monster in the post. Jabari Smith could not handle him at all. I mean, he was overpowering. And Clint Capella, without scoring any points really this entire game, had a huge, huge impact on this game. If you go back and watch the whole game, you can on NBA.com. They have the entire replay of the game there. And look at how many shots at the rim Clint Capella altered. You can see that Clint Capella, if he scores 0 points, alters as many shots as he did, and is an elite rebounder, which he wasn't an elite rebounder on Wednesday, but he's going to be better than that. I'm very confident in that.
Of course.
Capella had a huge impact on this game, so that's one thing is not to be overlooked. But Joshua, what did you think of how John Collins really asserted himself in the post when a lot of fans were really criticizing him about his post game last season?
I was proud to see it. With me, you always need to give it to the hot hand. If it's John, if it's DeAndre, when Dejounte and Trae are a little bit off, you have to give it to the other guys, have faith in the other guys, and they stepped up. DeAndre really wanted to get that contract done. You can see he wants to be here, and he transferred that into his game. So also with John, he started hitting early. I'm like, dog, 10, 12, 15 at the half. I'm like, he going to keep scoring, 24. So I'm like, okay, yeah, let's get it. And he can shoot from outside, been working on his 3-point game. And like I told y'all earlier, when we shot 50%, that means 1 out of 2. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to do that every game. And that's from shooting 28% from 3, when that's going to improve for sure. We're going to be more closer to the 35, 40% range. So if that increase, and you still won by 10 with getting out rebounded. Right. So we're going to start beating teams by 10, 15 at the minimum. And that's just not Houston. We're talking about anybody in the East or whoever wants to, step up. It's not going to be no cakewalk this year coming through us and thinking it's going to be light. That's one thing that Nate was really talking about they wanted to add on to is that defense. Dejounte definitely, you can see it. He wasn't as satisfied with the win or, we're not going to get complacent with beating, a team like this. This is supposed to happen. You need to beat these type of teams, build your confidence up. Look who we start the season off with. You got Detroit. You got Orlando tonight. You got Detroit twice. So 4-1 at the minimum, starting off these first 5 games. And let's get it. So let's take this momentum and start the season off right and, pull away.
I agree. We definitely need to start the season at first 5 games without 2 losses, in my opinion, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And another thing about the shooting is, yes, while a lot of fans were pointing out that we shot 28% from 3, people forgetting we're missing probably the 3rd or 4th most important guy on this team right now.
Bogey's out.
This guy is a certified bucket getter off the bench. And while Aaron Holiday and Justin Holiday are serviceable shooters, and Jalen Johnson, serviceable shooters, they're not plus shooters. So the spacing on the bench will be a little bit iffy. And with Dejounte running that unit too, it'll be a bit iffy for maybe the first few games. But when Bogey comes back, that shooting percentage will bump up, the spacing will improve, and I'm really confident that we'll be shooting, like Joshua said, closer to that 40% mark. Also, DeAndre Hunter with the mid-range looked really good last night. Fresh off signing that 4-year, $95 million contract extension, he knows that he now has to live up to that contract instead of playing for that contract. How do you think that changes his mindset, Ant?
Oh, yeah. Well, he knows that we brought him here for his shooting and his defense. So, and that's what got him that contract, because he showed a little bit last year, and then in that game 5 against Miami, he really showcased what he could really do. And then he just kind of, touched on it just a little bit in that first game. And then I believe that, the further on in the season, he's going to get, way better at shooting outside and, and posting up and all that, because he got size on him.
I agree 100%. Another guy I want to really talk about on the bench were actually 2, the Holiday brothers. I know, Blackberry, you and I was it last week or 2 weeks ago show was really harping on the Holidays and how their defense can really change this team. And while we lost the shooting in Kevin Huerter, we really improved on the defensive end of getting Justin Holiday and then signing Aaron Holiday as well. What did you think of their impact and their activity on the defensive end on Wednesday?
Yeah, it was definitely very refreshing to see that level of defense coming off the bench. It was much needed. And we might have lost some. I think we might have lost some mid-range scoring from Kevin Huerter, but I think the Holiday brothers together have worked on their 3-point shooting, and we might not be missing that 3-point shot that we had out of Kevin Huerter from Justin Holiday and Aaron Holiday. They look like they really been working on that 3-point jumper. So with them being hopefully, in which I think they are better from 3-point, along with their defense, is definitely refreshing to see coming off the bench. And also they run the floor like demons. I mean, they can run the hell out of that floor.
Oh yeah.
So they also help with the fast break game, which is what we know we were dead last year. So when you got a package like one of the Holiday brothers or both of them, along with Dejounte and Onyeka on the floor, and Jalen Johnson, like we saw against the Rockets, the fast break game is going to be phenomenal coming off of the bench. When you can get fast break points from your bench, when you can get damn near elite defense from your bench, and then you also have some 3-point scores on coming off the bench when Bogut comes back, man, you can control a lot of games that way. When your bench is capable of doing all of those aspects on the floor. So yeah, the Holiday brothers, I don't know why I can't get their name out. The Holiday brothers are definitely refreshing to see on the defensive end.
Oh yeah, and one of the clips that I thought really cemented their impact was at the beginning of the fourth quarter when the Rockets actually had gone on an 11-2 run to begin the third quarter in that second half to bring the game close. And at the beginning of the fourth quarter, we saw the impact the Holiday Bros could make as we see the steal and the three from both of the guys as we watch this clip here.
You don't want him to have to make those type of decisions.
Speaking of turnovers, Sengun throws it away. Aaron Holiday, big three.
So y'all see how in the beginning of that I can show it again on the Justin.
You don't
Hall.
want him to have to make those type of decisions.
That effort, that going to save that ball behind his back off the tip from Dejounte is something that the Holiday brothers are known for. They're known for doing the dirty work, hustling for the ball. And then Dejounte, being the great point guard that he is, knows that he's got to push the floor after a steal like that. And it led to an Aaron Holiday wide open three. So already you're seeing the effect of Dejounte and the Holiday brothers there on the defensive end and leading to fast break points like Blackberry was saying.
Yeah.
And Michael says in the comments, one of the Holiday dudes is future trade bait. I'd be interesting to know who you'd want to pick up for them, because in my opinion it would just be a lateral move. What do you think about that, Joshua? Is he there?
And Josh got stuck.
Did we lose him?
I think he
Oh,
was
Okay.
stuck.
We lost Joshua. No. But in my opinion, I don't think one of the Holiday brothers is going to be trade bait. I think that if we trade him, it's going to be at the deadline, but it will have to be for a significantly better piece.
Significantly
guy. I don't think Jay Crowder's that guy. I think it's more of a lateral move. So I'm curious to see, Michael, who you would kind of look for as trade bait for one of the Holidays. Joshua, are you back?
Yeah, y'all can hear me?
Okay, there we go. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, yeah, I was saying the same exact thing you were saying. I don't see it being a move to not do anything to improve the wins or improve the movement of the team. If it's not going to help us any, then, this is for depth, basically. Us signing both of them. They're basically both for depth. I want to hit on that comment right there. Pablo versus DJ is going to be good, especially because we're going to see a lot of Banchero. What happened over the summer got me hyped, because they going at it like, they just been rivals for years, and one of them is 19, and the other one, is an established all-star. So he just came in. Dejounte was like, yeah, you're not going to be pushing us around, and I don't care about you being number one and me not being number one pick. Welcome to the league. I'm going to show you. And so I expect him to add on to that tonight, and, welcome to the league. Right, get some steals off of him.
Yeah, it should be a great entertaining matchup, especially with what happened in the offseason with Paolo and Dejounte. But speaking of Dejounte steals, this is one of my most impressive ones that I saw on Wednesday as we watch this clip right here.
Bruno against Trae.
Bruno has never been a guy with great hands.
Murray steps into.
So if y'all, I'm gonna play that one more time, but watch Dejounte in the near right corner of your screen. He baits the pass like he's gonna cover his man in the corner and quickly shifts to jump the passing lane. Watch that again.
Bruno against Trae.
Bruno has never been a guy with great hands.
Murray steps in to pick off the pass. Trae pulls the long three. Got it.
And that's the power of, like Blackberry says, Trae to Dejounte or Dejounte to Trae. Either way, like we've got Dejounte Murray who's pushing the floor after that steal, leading to a Trae 20. I believe that shot was 28 or 27 footer for three. I mean, those are momentum plays that can really shift the crowd into the Hawks' favor.
Yeah.
So I mean, Dejounte played great his first game, so I'm really excited, definitely to see that. Lastly, what did you guys think of Trae on the off ball side of things in his first game with Dejounte?
I mean, it was a good look. I mean, because it was something new to see. We knew he could do it, because he's done it, some in the past year, and but now we can see him do it more, and
Right.
he doesn't
Right.
have to be our full offense. You know, everything doesn't have to go through Trae. Now we got, we got Dejounte, and he can be that floor general, and hey, I love it.
Yeah, this was actually the opening bucket of Trae's season.
Last season, Cade Cunningham of Detroit went first. Trae. And that.
As we see him coming off a curl screen there from Capella, and he made a great cut there to the rim, which in other years he gets that ball, he takes it out and runs a pick and roll with Capella or John Collins, and I
Mhm.
like that. I like that he made that instep to the basket because it really put the defense on its heels. You saw that Bruno had to either commit to Trae or commit to Capella, and he was in that in between zone, which left Trae with the easy lay with the right hand. So great start from Trae off ball wise. Trae didn't even shoot well. I mean, he if we see here, Trae shot 7 for 22. Dejounte was good for 8 for 19. But other than Trae, really everybody shot efficiently. This is a game we probably lose last year with Trae shooting this bad if we didn't have Dejounte.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
that really signifies how important Dejounte is to this team. Any last remarks y'all want to make before we start previewing tonight's game versus the Magic?
Yeah, you know who was looking at that first play from DeJounte to Trae and was grinning from ear to ear? Steph Curry.
Oh, did we lose him?
Uh,
Did we lose Blackberry?
and we just lost Josh.
Damn,
There he is.
I think somebody
Nothing.
kicked me out of there. What's going on there?
That's that dirt cutter for you.
Now we got to put Josh back in.
All
There
right,
he
Josh.
is.
There you is.
But no. Oh, damn.
I don't know what's going on now.
Somebody playing with the
Apologies
circuits.
for
I don't know
the
what's happening, y'all. I think he's losing his internet. I don't know.
apologize for the technical difficulties here.
Somebody playing with the circuits, y'all.
I don't know what happened.
Okay,
we do our streaming, from a lot of different places. So, but no, but Steph Curry was grinning ear to ear, man, when he seen that play from DeJounte to Trae opening up the game, because it's like, yeah, this young fella, all that work we put in this off season is gonna cut. Y'all gonna see it. He gonna be there. Y'all want to compare him to me? Now you can really compare him to me. But when I saw that play, I looked at Nate McMillan, and I really wish I could have just went up to him and gave him a real big hug, because that lets me know Nate McMillan is paying attention. He's paying attention to the league and what other teams are preparing for, and he's taking a look at his personnel and realizing how he can utilize everybody's skill set to the best of his ability. That's what's important. I don't like use. Oh Lord, I can't believe I'm finna use this as an example. But when you know what? I'm not gonna do it. Let's just pretend like I didn't even start that. I ain't gonna do it.
Lord,
I was finna use a rival team as an example, but I'm not gonna do it. Okay,
don't do it.
but when you have a guy like Trae, who he had, one of his skill sets is that he's going to be quicker to the punch. than most guards he's playing, especially forwards. He's gonna be quicker to the punch. If you get the ball out of his hands and you allow him to use that quickness to more of his ability around the court, space to flow out, make defenses have to spread out, force defenses to have to collapse more instead of being able to just stand out there on the perimeter and then just wait on Trae to go into the paint. Now defenses have to spread out. Now they have to collapse at any given moment because you got multiple guys that could have the ball and that could either distribute the ball or they could take it inside. And when you got Trae Young on the floor being able to run the floor like that, now all his skill sets are being used to the best of Nate McMillan's ability. It's not just him making plays with the ball. Now it's him making plays without the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely for sure.
Yep.
Joshua, any last remarks before we move on to previewing tonight's game?
I did want to ask you a question, Mikey. Was that last year or 2 years ago when Trae had 56 against Portland? I cannot remember.
Trae had 56 against Portland last year.
Was he not playing majority off the ball that game? I feel like he was playing more off the ball that game than I've seen in a while.
I mean, he was playing a lot on the ball that game. But I remember because we lost that game. We lost that game, which just shows.
We did.
20. He had 56 and 12, I believe, when we lost.
Yeah, well, 56 and 14, something like that. Yeah,
it was 14. It was 14.
Yeah,
You're
I
right.
think it was 14.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I can't remember if he was playing off the ball. I just remember him. It's one game last year he played off the ball a lot, and it was a high scoring game. But that's neither here nor there. I can't remember right now. But yeah, we can see a lot more of it, and he doesn't have to have that amount of pressure and things like that. It opens up his game way more. Be able to come off the pick and roll, hit the three better, set the shot, set his feet. A lot more floaters, a lot more alleys, lot more offense we're gonna have. So let's get it.
I agree.
Let
me just add this real quick. Now that he's coming off the ball, what we've seen happen against Miami, that can't happen anymore. They can't just shell off, a half of the court, against. They can't do that anymore because now
one defense.
There we go. Can't do it.
Because Dejounte now, we have a guy who can finish at the rim like that. We have a guy who can make that second. And an interesting point here from James Edwards before we move on to previewing tonight's game. He said when Murray goes out, Trae needs to get the second unit involved more instead of trying to do it all himself. Other than that, they look great. Trae is starting more at the shooting guard, and he must transition into a point guard. I think that one thing we have to be careful of is, and Nate McMillan did a great job, I think in the preseason and the first game. We've got to remember, Trae Young is by far the superior player and the superior point guard and passer than Dejounte Murray. We've got to be careful not to take away Trae's strengths just to make Dejounte, a great player in our system. Right. So we've got to make sure that Trae is running point guard and shooting guard, but with the second unit when Dejounte is not on the floor, I like your point, James Edwards. I really want to see Trae be more of that point guard with the bench when he's in with guys like Aaron Holiday, Justin Holiday, and it's gonna be interesting to see the backcourt dynamics between Bogey and Dejounte compared to Trae and Dejounte, because with Bogey and Dejounte, we're gonna have a guy who's gonna play elite defense, but he's not going to be operating in the pick and roll as much. I think we're going to see Bogey handle the ball a lot with the second unit if Dejounte's out there. So it's going to be interesting to see how Bogey is going to play with Dejounte and Trae. But
I was going to say exactly that, Mikey. I was going to say everything you just said. I was going to reply to that
for sure. It's going to be interesting for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
But now tonight, in about 50 minutes, we're going to be having tip-off between the Magic and Paolo Banchero, the number one pick from this offseason's draft, and our Atlanta Hawks. The Magic are starting Jalen Suggs, Terrence Ross, Franz Wagner, Wendell Carter, and oh my bad, I did not have this on their power forward. I thought I had that on there, but I forgot they're starting at power forward. But I know it's Jalen Suggs, Terrence Ross, Franz Wagner, and Wendell Carter.
Well, quick update. Suggs is out.
Suggs is
Bone
out.
bruise.
Suggs is out. Oh wow.
Suggs is out.
Wow.
Markel
that's-
Fultz is out with a toe injury. Gary Harris is out with a knee injury.
Wow.
Jonathan Isaac is out with a knee injury, and Cole Anthony is questionable with an illness. And usually illness, he ain't gonna play.
He ain't gonna play.
And
Wow.
Cole Anthony will be available to play tonight. So we have, as of 39 minutes ago, the starting lineup was Jalen Suggs, Terrence Ross, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, obviously a power forward. I don't know what I was doing, and then Wendell Carter Jr. So as of 39 minutes ago, they have not changed that lineup. So the injury, which injury report are you looking for, Blackberry? Because here it says they're starting Jalen Suggs.
Yeah, you know what? This injury report is from earlier today.
Okay, so I think they're starting Suggs, Ross, Franz Wagner, Banchero, and then Wendell Carter.
Yeah, so I guess he went from being out to in.
Yeah, he looked really good.
That.
He looked really good on the Magic opening night, which he's poised for a sophomore year breakout. A lot of people were down on him last year. So we're gonna really have to stop Suggs from getting into the paint. Is my number one thing. I think we're gonna have Dejounte on Jalen Suggs. What do you guys think is gonna be the biggest key to victory tonight?
Stop them. What's the name? What's that? Franz Wagner.
Franz Wagner, yeah.
I don't know what he was doing last year. It was like he had a little breakout game, or he had a hot game against it. We have a habit of letting the non-stars go off on us. We'll shut down the stars, worry about that's who you key in on the game plan, and then somebody that's their fourth scorer will have a career night. So it's just just needs to be all around defense. Don't take anybody lighter than the next. So that's my only key to it.
Gotcha. What do you think, Blackberry?
I think we have to be better with collapsing to the guy coming in, to the guy driving into the paint. I think we need to be a little bit better with that. I think against the Rockets, I think inside defenders were more worried about not committing fouls, and they was just giving up easy buckets at the paint inside. If you're there, you need to stand your ground and defend and collapse more when those guys are coming inside. If we can do that, I think a lot of those points that Houston got inside the paint, they don't get. Don't be afraid of committing fouls. Be aggressive, be physical, get in there and collapse when them guys coming inside. Don't give up them easy buckets inside. Other than that, the Magic don't really scare me from deep. They don't really scare me in the mid-range. I think really all you really get mostly is that Banchero has a good ability. He has great back. He's great with his back to the basket at making plays and also scoring. So if you limit him on being able to make to distribute when his back is to the basket, limit him being able to do that. Force him to have to score once he turns his back to the basket. Force him to make the score himself, and then we gonna really see what he made of. But because he was able to do some of everything with his back to the basket in that first game.
Great points. And what do you think is the key to victory tonight?
Well, I'm gonna just say defense. Because I was looking at their stats from the other night as far as the Magic go, and they're prone to turning the ball over. So can we get back to what we did the first night? Turn them over, steals, and then steals can turn into fast break opportunities. And can we finish at the basket? Or if not finish at the basket, mid range, and then or 3-point. And then also, can we get that 3-point, back tonight? Like that's gonna be another key.
Yeah, I hope we see some better shooting than the first night too. Obviously, I don't think we're going to be shooting 28% even before every game before Bogey comes back. But I really like your point there about turnovers, because the Magic are a young team just like the Rockets, and young teams turn the ball over a lot. We saw the impact that the Holiday brothers, Dejounte Murray, really everybody had a steal that played against the Rockets except for Onyeka Okongwu, Jalen Johnson, and Clint Capella. So if we can get in those passing lanes, pick the pockets of the ball handlers, Dejounte with his classic disrupting of the handoffs on the perimeter, we will really put ourselves in great position to win tonight. I'm curious to see who's going to guard Banchero, because the last few years, John Collins hasn't been the greatest post defender on ball.
Yeah.
He's been a good help side defender. Coming back, contesting shots, changing shots, blocking shots. But it's going to be really interesting to see who guards Banchero, because DeAndre Hunter's probably a bit too small for Banchero. But at the same time, John Collins, I don't know how confident you feel about him guarding Banchero. So if it is JC, he's going to need to step up to that challenge tonight. But I think we're going to have Trae guarding Terrence Ross and Dejounte guarding Jalen Suggs with DeAndre Hunter on Franz Wagner. Franz is very good. I mean, like Joshua said, he's no star, but he's a good young player. Had a great rookie season. So DeAndre's gonna have his he's gonna have his hands full tonight as well. So that defense is really gonna be key to victory tonight. Really want to see Clint Capella, how he defends Wendell Carter as well, because Bruno's not going to take any 3-point shots, but Clint Capella has to defend the 3-point line tonight as well. Wendell Carter's a decent 3-point shooter. He's a good pick-and-pop guy. He's a great rebounder. So Clint Capella is going to have his hands full at the center position as well. And if they bring Bol off the bench, they have a lot of length. They played Bol at the 3 against Detroit. Bol, Banchero, and Wendell, and Mo Bamba too. They have all these 7-footers. So really, they have a lot of length. So Onyeka is also going to need to be really, really on his game tonight in terms of rebounding and contesting those shots. The Magic, with Coach Jamal Mosley, a young coach, obviously, Steve Clifford left a few years ago to who's now coaching the Hornets. What do you guys think is going to be the Magic's offensive game plan to try to disrupt our defense?
I think they're going to try to get out in transition as much as possible. And I think it's because they don't really want to make it a half-court game, because clearly if you make it a half-court game with the Hawks, we just got too many guys that can pickpocket you. We got guys that could just disrupt a half-court game. So I think they're going to try to get out in transition and score fast as much as possible, even if it's not on a fast break. I think they're gonna try to hurry up and get to position. Of course, what we know with Trae Young, with having Dejounte now, we do a lot of the same, but we still have the ability to set up and orchestrate, because we have weapons that can beat you off ball. We got weapons that can beat you in one-on-ones. With the Magic, not so much. They have to be they're a transition team. And because they're young, that's when you see those turnovers happen. When they try to force transitions, when really they should be setting up a play. I think that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to get out in transition a lot. I think it's something that they could do. They definitely have the ability to do it. I mean, like you said, a young team that can run for 4 quarters, you can do a lot with a team like that. But you're going up against a team that if you try to force it, you're gonna get killed on the other end. So I think that's what they're gonna try to do.
I like Georgia Bulldogs for life here. He says, I think Orlando will search for mismatches. And that's actually a point that I'll overlook too. With their length, that's a great idea. I think they might be. I think they will also look for mismatches. So everybody's going to need to be able to switch 1 through 5 if they do, and be ready to defend, because it'll be tough if they get, say, Trae or Dejounte on Banchero or Wendell or Franz Wagner, even, who's 6'8" with length at the 3 to post up. So that's going to be really important to try and prevent those switches and get over these screens that Magic will set. Before the Rockets game, we had DeAndre Hunter signing at the buzzer at that 6 o'clock deadline to the 4-year, $95 million contract extension. What did you guys think of that? And what do you guys think of the money? And do you agree with the contract? Do you wish you gotten more? Or do you wish you gotten a little less?
I think he got what forwards are getting now. With small forward, I think he got what they're getting. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I agree.
Joshua?
Yeah, it's exactly what Blackberry said. It lines up right with the rest of the league around that area. And if it wasn't for that playoff game and the end stretch run that he had last year,
thank you.
He might not. We be playing this season on faith, but it lined up right, and I believe he's gonna step up to the plate. It's just certain players turn up when they get that money and know they're locked in and things like that. It's not your pressure. You have those rare cases where I'm gonna shelve it until the season starts. It's too much pressure, and we're gonna not talk about it during the season and bet on yourself. I.e. Aaron Judge, but that's another story. But I mean, just bet on himself. Yeah, bet on himself. But DeAndre knew what he had to do. Like I said, towards the end of last season and the playoffs, and that's the guy that we drafted. Is what we end up seeing, and
that's right.
Hope those lingering injuries stay away. We stay healthy. There's no telling. The sky's the limit, and we'll make a run past what the Eastern Conference Final team did, because we're looking just as good, if not better.
Agreed.
So we're gonna see.
And I really think real quick, I really think a lot of some of the digression that he had from coming back from them injuries was because of those injuries. Like, you got to get it's rhythm and flow for a player. It means a lot. Once you get that rhythm and flow back after an injury, then you can start becoming what you were going to be anyway, or are you going to fall to pieces? He doesn't have that personality to fall to pieces. He doesn't have that personality.
No, he doesn't.
You hit it right on.
I used to watch.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
But, I was just gonna say I used to watch him at Virginia, and look, his defense is something else. Like, he could shut down, like a whole side of the court by himself. He just needed to work on, his shooting and, mid range. That was it.
Yeah, and he's got that mid-range shot. I mean, we saw that in the playoff game, like Joshua said. We saw it to begin the season last year. And this offseason has been his first fully healthy offseason since he's been in the league.
Yep.
And the offseason, that is the key right there to realize. The offseason is where players are gonna learn new skills. You see Onyeka coming in with taking a mid-range jump shot against the Rockets. He didn't make it, but he had no hesitation shooting that open mid-range. We saw Onyeka taking threes. DeAndre Hunter is working on his ball handling a lot this offseason. So really, this offseason being healthy was key for him. And I agree with this comment, by the way, Bulldogs. What do you guys think of this? Do you think Banchero will be the easy Rookie of the Year favorite if Orlando starts winning games?
I can see it.
I mean, you have to put him in that conversation if they're winning.
Got to.
He would be the reason they are winning.
I agree.
There we go. Yeah.
He would be. He's got to be the reason. But and with DeJounte Murray having a great first game for against the Rockets, he scored his 4,000th career point with us on that Wednesday. So definitely big congrats to DeJounte, and hopefully many more points to come in a Hawks uniform.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yeah. I agree.
And you know what? A lot of what DeJounte is capable of doing, we're gonna see more of it with him being with the Hawks. I try to tell people, like, when they do the comparison to him and what's his name that went to Cleveland?
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell was in a system where he was free to use his athleticism as much as he wanted to. You can't do that in a Greg Popovich system. Mm-mm. It's why Tony Parker was so successful. They wasn't worried about him trying to be too athletic, because he fit in perfectly, and he didn't have the athleticism anyway to be trying to do too much. So he fit
There you go.
perfectly in that system. See, now you got a system now where you're gonna have a lot of movement going on for Dejounte, where he's gonna be able to be the mismatch on both ends of the floor. So
Yep.
he's gonna be free to be himself. Is what is basically.
True.
He's free now,
True.
and that's why he was so happy to get away.
Yeah. You have
exactly.
athletes and then you have system players. And you're right about Tony Parker being a system player. Had he left San Antonio, went somewhere else?
Mm-mm.
He did not.
Nope.
In Charlotte, he was not that good later in his career.
Nothing.
No.
Yeah.
We got the prediction of the stat line here from
25, 12.
Georgia Bulldogs.
Okay.
25, 12,
Yeah.
7, and 4. Is that 12? That's 7 rebounds, I would assume.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be tough against the Magic's length. But if he gets 7 rebounds against the Magic with the big guys that they got, he's him. nothing else to say. But before we head over to some Atlanta Braves talk, y'all got a last words you want to say about the game tonight, or just about the Hawks game in general from Wednesday?
Trae to Dejounte. Dejounte to Trae.
We got to have a segment where we just lead that off the Hawks talk. We got to do that from now on. Blackberry got to introduce the Hawks.
Just have a slew of plays in a game that was Trae to Dejounte to Trae.
Yeah, and Bulldogs just confirmed. Yeah, 7 rebounds and 12 dimes. Yeah, I can see the 12 dimes, 7 rebounds. That would be amazing. I really hope he gets that.
Yeah, I mean, I take it, but that's gonna be tough against they length.
Well, I don't want to confuse length with will.
Yep,
that's true.
You gotta have we got some guys that can get 10 rebounds in their sleep. Big O can get it in his sleep.
Capella can get
in his sleep. Dejounte can get it in his sleep. And if you ask me, if DeAndre Hunter want to get 10, he can get 10.
That's true.
So it's about the wheel, like the length. You can have the length. Do you have the wheel? I mean, hell, look at damn Brooke Lopez, sorry ass.
He's a 3-point shooter, bro. Stop that.
Can't get rebound to save his life.
Michael, what do we do with Jalen Johnson? I mean, he was the ninth man of 9 pretty clearly last game. He didn't look that great, to be honest, but Jalen Johnson's definitely the backup 4 right now. I mean, with John Collins playing so well, he didn't get a lot of minutes, but hopefully we can see Jalen defend a little bit better than he did against the Rockets. He was caught flat-footed, guarding on ball against his man a lot. So hopefully we can see that. But Raymond Collins here, DeAndre is attacking the basket. Good aggressiveness and more energy. That's really going to add to his game, 100%. And when he gets that injury concern out of his head, which really looks like he has, it's going to be a different story, and it's going to be a dangerous team. So I'm really looking forward to the game tonight, and really looking forward to what we can see out of the Hawks just in this season in general. Without further ado, what were we going to say, Joshua?
Oh, I was going to say, I back what you're saying, Mikey, and what Blackberry's saying. And from my own personal experience, the quickest way to get hurt is to think about when you got hurt. You get what I'm saying? You don't play free. You don't do any of that other. When I had my shoulder injury back in baseball, it's just like I'm scared to get another one. I dove for a ball and got another one. You get what I'm saying? But now it's just like, that's out the back of my mind. And I understand that's what happened with Acuna. I understand that's what happened with, DeAndre. It's you really think about, dang, I don't want to go out here and risk it. So I'm not even 100%. I'm not giving my all. You give your all, you got it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Trusting your trainers, trusting, your rehab. You'll get back to better than, you usually heal stronger than when you got hurt. So like I said, I've always told folks, the quickest way to get hurt is thinking about getting hurt. That's when you start getting other injuries. So, you got a knee injury, so they're trying to compensate. So now you got an ankle injury. Or it's your other leg, you know what I'm saying? So just play free. And if that's out of his mind, we about to see a beast, and he could definitely step up.
Yeah, I really think so as well. we've got the Braves, and this offseason brings the most important question by far: Dansby Swanson. And Georgia Bulldogs for life here. We signed Dansby Swanson. We better, and we're gonna give him a deal. I know Alex and Thomas is gonna give him a deal. Whether Dansby takes it, I don't know. But in my opinion, Dansby should be around around what DeAndre Hunter got, but for a little bit more. So like 25 million a year for 5 years, to be honest, is where I would go with Dansby. But that's probably pushing the max for me. What about you guys?
Yeah, with something I read a couple of days ago, all the deals that we did, with Olsen, with Riley, with that Michael Harris, none of those deals were over 22 a year. So he's going to be around that. And in my opinion, knowing the guy Dansby is, he might take a slight hometown discount, slight. We're not going to, deny your worth or anything like that, but you're not going to get Correa money, and you might not get Trae Turner money. But you're right there in that middle, and we know the type of guy you are. What you mean to the clubhouse. You heard that on the post game talk with all the players after we got put out. So, like I said, he'll probably be around there. Like I said, around 22, probably 22, a little bit over. So,
yeah, I agree.
Let me get your reaction to that comment right there, Mikey.
Come on,
that's a no.
come on right now.
That's a big no for me.
You're better off.
Josh.
You're better off.
I like Vaughn. I mean, obviously he was great from when he came up with us, but boy, you're gonna ask a guy who's played less than 30 games.
Yeah,
right.
Less than 30 games to become the starting shortstop of a championship caliber team.
No,
to a guy that's the Gold Glove finalist. So Dansby Gold Glove finalist. He may win because Lindor's not in it, and somebody else that's short that's good is not in it. It was like Wong from San Diego and somebody else.
Wong, yeah. Hassan Kim.
Yeah. So no, Grissom better off trying to get left field spot for next year, or just be a bench bat, or go back down and fill in when injury happens. But that's a no. That's a no.
I don't think we will let him walk. We definitely give him I think a deal closer to what I said, maybe even a little bit less. And I like Joshua, the point you brought up with all the deals we made around the 22, 23 million range, or actually less than 22. So Blackberry, what you think about this comment as well?
Man, I was just flabbergasted when I seen it, to be honest.
Me too. This is the captain of the team.
Yeah, basically, the longest tenured player right now.
He's saying let Dansby walk like it's whatever. You talk about Dansby Swanson here.
Yep.
If this is 2016, 2017, yeah. But this is far from that.
But then you wouldn't have got the Dansby Swanson you got now.
You wouldn't have.
So, no, man. You pay the man, okay?
So, Josh, I agree. I agree. His bat still doesn't reach his full potential, but we saw a glimpse of what he could do with his bat this year. When you're saying go after a number one pitcher, I think our greatest need, in my opinion, is a left fielder.
Yep.
I think I don't think you can trust Ozuna anymore.
Yes.
You can't trust Rosario.
That's why I said Grissom is better. Is Grissom or Contreras could probably get out there at that point.
Yeah.
But, you better off doing that. And Josh, in this spot right here, if you still haven't seen the potential, yet he set Braves franchise records for RBIs and home runs in that position. So what do you think he can keep doing? There aren't many shortstops that hit for power. Correa is one of the few.
Yeah, Bogarts is available too. Bogarts, we don't know, but if he opts out of his contract, he's going to be available as well.
He's gone. If the Bogarts is gone, they're going to shift Trevor Story back over.
Yeah.
So it's a deep shortstop class for sure, but
yeah, Buster Olney reported earlier in the season that the Braves are favorites to sign DeGrom, and honestly, the latter part of this season, man, Big Ant, what you think? Because the latter part of the season, DeGrom really struggled.
Man, look, after he came back from the injury, he was not the same at all. Like, I mean, he has been great, before this year, and then the latter part of the season, man, he started getting fatigued and he started not looking like himself, giving up home runs and stuff like that. So I don't know, man.
I don't think we should go after DeGrom. I mean, I do. I'm like a huge fan of DeGrom.
Yeah.
Before this season, he was my unquestionable best pitcher in baseball.
Yes.
Garrett Cole wasn't even close to him. Not even close.
Thanks.
It was him. It was him ahead of so far everybody else. Now Sandy Alcantara, in my opinion, best pitcher in baseball. But we've really got to have some big decisions here from Alex Anthopoulos in terms of left field, in my opinion, and then a bullpen piece. We're going to be missing Tyler Metzik, Huascar Ynoa, and we don't know how Luke Jackson's going to come back from Tommy John surgery.
Yeah,
also, Kenley Jansen can walk.
Yeah.
So we could have the potential of missing 4 guys. We're going to need to pick up a couple bullpen pieces. In my opinion, we've got the left-handers, definitely. Actually, no, Matzek's gone. So we do need another left-handed pitcher out of that bullpen, like a left-handed specialist. I would be looking like, Tim Hill, if he's available from the Padres, a sidewinder, a submariner from the left side would be really good. Just a left-handed specialist. What do you guys think is our biggest need in the bullpen? And I do agree with this, Josh, though. I do agree with this. Move Iglesias closer for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
He showed up in the playoffs.
He showed up, since we signed him. And we had 3 more years of control.
Yeah, 3 more years.
So that's definitely Kenley can walk. Yes, you let the league in save, but you let the league in blown saves. It was almost some Will Smith stuff all over, which I did not. I just like to have my games without a heart attack added on to it. That's how I like to have my games, so I can sit back and eat. But Iglesias the closer, another lefty, one more righty, left field, and a back end starter. We got 2 to 3 number 1 pitchers. Strider can be a 10 to 15. Strider can be a 15-game winner. You saw Kyle Wright won over 20, and Freed can win 20 if he wants to and can step up. So number 1 starter is not the issue. It's the back end, because once it got past him, Morton's getting up there in age. He's just going to be a guy that's going to keep signing 1 years or whatever like that until he's just done. I don't know how he's still throwing 96, 98. It's something ain't right. But a number 4, number 5 starter. Ian Anderson needs to get back on the pace that he was. We forget that we have him. And one bullpen, 1 back end starter, left field. Because center and right's gonna be locked up. Acuna's gonna be the Acuna of old. He's gonna come back. Ozzy's gonna come back, and everything else is gonna be just filling it in. So Soroka has to go to arbitration. So we talked about that in another show, Josh. I said Soroka can walk. You see the success we've had with these past 2 years without him. I don't know how everybody else feels on it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna miss him.
No,
I don't miss him now. So
when you start to get to those players that you forget you got, be like, oh yeah. So
it's really just unfortunate what happened to Soroka, but I just don't think there's a place for him in the rotation as of right now. And with the type of injuries that he got, I do agree with this though, Josh. You can never have too much pitching. That's really underrated. It's a great comment.
Check the Braves draft.
I think the money in the arbitration that Soroka is gonna want. I don't know if it's worth it because it's a complete mystery of how he pitches. When he came back, he didn't pitch well in AAA, and I know we need more pitching. We definitely do need another starter, a back end guy like Josh was saying. Starter, left field, bullpen.
Yeah, that's it. Because you got
What
the rest of the stuff locked up.
do you think, Blackburn?
What he's saying? Go ahead, Blackburn.
I was gonna say, Joshua, I didn't know you were still going. My bad.
No, go ahead, Jack.
Oh, what Georgia Bulldogs was saying, that's a good thing too. But you let Swanson walk, those 2 guys that you just listed are more money. Trae had a career year, but you'll decline in defense for sure. He's a good for error every 4 or 5 games.
Exactly.
His glove not worth nothing, but you got speed, you'll have power, you'll have RBI. but I'd take the glove.
Yeah, give me that defense.
Exactly, because Swanson's back can get better.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know somebody said he done reached his ceiling.
No.
His ceiling is damn good for me. If he has reached his ceiling, I'm happy with the ceiling he's at. He can his back can get back consistent. Like I said, what happened in this past postseason? It's a formality, okay? Sometimes bats go cold and other teams get hot. It's just what it is. It's still not saying that your team still ain't capable of next season being back in that position again and being better on those nights. It's just that just so happened the Phillies were hot and they stayed hot. And they look like they gonna remain hot. So it's just about it. Don't look at this sample size of what you got out of Dansby Swanson coming into this postseason and say, okay, he's cooked. Let him walk. No, man.
That's true.
Guys like Dansby Swanson don't grow on trees. I say that about talent when I see it that deserves it being said about them. And you don't find Dansby Swanson's growing on trees. A locker room leader who's a Golden Glove caliber guy.
Study.
He said that dip.
There we go. Another technical difficulty here, but
go ahead, Mike.
Josh's comment here, I guess. Thoughts on a blockbuster trade for Tanya Trout? While I would love one of them on this team, we don't have the pieces to do it anymore. We used to have top farm system. Now we've traded a lot of those guys. The Olsen trade was huge. So we've traded away a lot of the prospects that we could have used for an Ohtani or Trout. But I'm not upset that's the case. I mean, we've got a solid team.
Yeah. I looked at some of Trout's. I mean, not Trout's. My goodness. I looked at some of Ohtani's contracts, and I didn't know since he's been in the league, since about 2018 or so. This is his first time making over $5 million.
Yep.
So it's a lot of my friends say that we're robbing players, and it's not robbing because you don't hold no gun to these folk head. They're taking the deals that they're taking because of the team. It has to be something going on in that locker room that makes you want to stay because it's not about the money.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? And they know that theirs is coming. Yeah, that too. That definitely. I don't understand how that happened. This is one of the quickest rebuilds I've seen. Definitely. It was a 4-year rebuild, and that's fast in baseball wise.
Exactly.
It was insane.
We are earlier than the curve of what all the analysts, predicted us. But like we talked about that team last year, that team is, to me, weaker than the 2019 team, weaker than the 2020 team, and weaker than the team we had this year. Agreed. That team, I don't understand. I didn't have the faith, and I'm one of the biggest Braves fans. I didn't have the faith going into the Dodger series. None of that other stuff. I'm just like,
made it happen.
We did. I'm just like, okay, yeah. And it's just like you saying, Blackberry, though, it ride the momentum, and that's what the Phillies did to us. What we did to the Brewers and Dodgers last year. So, man, it's just some things that we're gonna piggyback on and continue to ride that wave. And it could be another one. When we started this run of the division series wins, it wasn't Buster Olney. I don't think it was Tim Kirchin. Somebody said that it's looking almost just like how it did going into the 1990 season.
Oh, and it can be. And
we won 14 in a row. So this is 5. And, I saw another post. We won 20 division titles minus 94 because that was a strike.
One World Series.
Yeah.
Now
20 division titles, 2 World Series since 1990.
Now we're 5 straight and 1 World Series. That's a better ratio.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll continue.
We're 5-1. Yeah, let's get it.
Hopefully.
You know what? Let me add this. I think this year was the best time for the Mets to win the division because they had us down by 10.5 games, and they still couldn't pay for it.
And they went to bed.
Yeah.
In typical Mets fashion.
Yeah, it's a toss-up because last year when Acuna went down, we were 4.5 back, and I'm just like, we were under 500. I'm like, they're not pulling away.
Yeah.
So
I
with
said
them
the
not
season
pulling
was
away,
over.
something's gonna happen. And I don't know. We had a 13 win increase, and it took to the last day, the last series to win this year. It took us longer to get in the first this year than last year. So yeah, you're right. You're right. And it's 10.5. That's that jump's funny. So and got put out before still.
What you guys think of this? Is Freed a true number one starter?
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
That is not a question.
No.
Yes.
Josh,
The
you've been
Braves don't
doing
even
real
question
good,
it.
Josh. You've been doing real good.
Well,
Come on back home, guys.
While Max Fried might not be a DeGrom name, Garrett Cole name, Scherzer name,
Yeah,
Alcantara
Verlander.
name, he is damn good. Max Fried has really cemented himself as an ace, especially in the last year's playoff run. I know that Max hasn't necessarily had the best playoff performances, but you look at Max Scherzer, look at Jacob DeGrom, you look at Garrett Cole this postseason. They're all struggling. They're all struggling this postseason. Kershaw too.
Kershaw's been trash his whole career in the postseason.
Yu Darvish as well. So and Blake Snell. So Aaron Nola struggled against the Padres. So we've had our aces who have pitched well in the regular season, like Max Fried did. He pitched what to a 2.65 ERA, I believe it was, and he was insane. He's been good for 3-4 straight years now. But this year, I think he really cemented himself as an ace, especially after that start in the World Series. And I definitely think he's the number one starter.
You got to remember that game. You got to remember the game he played on one leg. He finished that game on one leg. Okay,
he turned into Mad Max after that.
That's guts. That's heart. Bro, don't ask no questions like that again.
Josh. Hey, stirring the pot is good sometimes. Stirring the pot is good because it definitely.
I stir the pot a lot myself, so I get it.
You do, and we got Mad Mike here with the devil's advocate playing a lot too. So stirring the pot is good. It definitely gets some entertainment going for sure. But you guys have any last comments about for the Braves offseason or about that Philly series?
In AA we trust. That's it.
I second that notion.
I haven't questioned. Well, not anymore. I'm not questioning no move he make. It's a reason for his madness. So
yeah, he's had the track record for sure. I'm not questioning it either. I mean that series against the Phillies was just it was a weird series. Yeah, and we obviously you can make up all the day game, unlucky, the day game, all that stuff. The Phillies outplayed us, and the bats went cold. Pitching wasn't there. The Phillies bullpen for some reason was good, besides the first game, which who could see that coming? Like what? Yeah. So I mean they just got hot at the right time. So other than that, I mean there's really nothing more to say. But with that, if you guys don't have anything to add, we're probably going to start wrapping up here. We got the Hawks game starting in about 10 minutes here. So hope you guys really enjoy that game. And we'll end with as always how you can find us on our social media. You want to go first, Blackberry?
Yeah, I'll go first. Home team, y'all know what time it is. We appreciate y'all coming, enjoying this time with us. Don't forget to tell your friends, your family, your mama, your sister, your daddy, your brother, your auntie, your uncle, the guy next door, the guy that come cut your grass even though you don't ask him to. All those people. Tell all those people about what we got going on over here on Georgia Sports Nation. Now, if you want to find me on social media, you can go to Twitter. If you know anything about it, some of you do, some of you don't. It's the little blue bird on your phone. When you click on it, it's going to come up. It's going to be a search bar up there. You put my name up there. It's Blackberry Larex. That's Blackberry, no C, just the K. Same thing on YouTube. Blackberry Larex, no C, just the K. And y'all make sure y'all tune in every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We got something going on every day of the week for y'all. We got Sunday, we got the regulators. We got Coach Unchained doing the play-by-play. Y'all go check out Coach Unchained on Mondays. You got the heavy hitters. You go check them, or Cooler Talk Mondays with Mad Mike and K Styles and Jew Talk Sports. Everybody that be on there, all they special guests. On Tuesday we got Coach Unchained. We got all kind of stuff, man. Y'all come check us out all week. AFN, GSN, Blackberry Lorettes. Y'all can hit us all up right here, and we got everything you need because we love to love you. We love to love you like Timberland and Magoo, baby. We just love you. So y'all come keep checking us out. Always represent for the home team, baby. Home team.
Yes, sir. What about you?
Y'all can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Mr. Jackson 19868 at gmail.com, and on Instagram. Hey, y'all need need any information? Hey, hit us up.
And Round Table Sports.
Yes, sir. Like I said, it's your boy Josh. Love talking sports with my boys right here every Friday. Atlanta everything. Atlanta till I die. Atlanta, in the afterlife. But, we just want to kick the breeze on Instagram or on Twitter. I'm always available to talk in the DMs or in the main post. RTS Sports 2 on both of them. And, hey, man, I just, sports is my passion. So, we can talk about whatever. Till we blue in the face. Let's go.
Yes, sir. You can follow me on Twitter at PinWizard300. That's on Twitter, no caps. And then on YouTube, Recapping Hawks Hoops. We're going to be starting up the recaps, I believe, after tonight. We're going to be launching videos after the games, doing examining, box scores, what I thought about the game, certain plays, how everybody looked in terms of the scheme that Nate was running and the opponent. So really going to be looking in depth into each game for the Hawks this season. So definitely excited to do that. But without further ado, that'll do it for this episode of Georgia Sports Nation.
Hold on, Mikey. Hold on, Mikey.
What you got?
We don't just talk about team sports, neither. We got a show that we going to start on Thursdays after. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. We ain't made out or ironed out all the details, but I'm going to go ahead and give y'all the skinny right now. We going to do a show after Dirty Bird Thursdays. Okay, I'm going to be the host of it. We're going to have guys like N on there. Mikey going to be on there. Josh going to be on there sometime. Whenever they want to be on there, I don't care. We're going to have everybody on the show, and we going to even talk about single players. But hell, I want to talk a little bit one day about how I got to get used to not seeing Serena in the U.S. Open. I got to get used to this. I don't know how I'm watching tennis. That's the only reason I'm watching tennis. It's the only reason. So, hey, y'all just make sure y'all keep tuning in to Georgia Sports Nation, Atlanta Falcons Nation. Y'all go subscribe to everybody that's going to give y'all the home team content, because that's what it's all about. It's about the home team, baby. If you don't rep for the home team, you don't rep for nothing. That's how I feel about it. So, hey, come back, join us every single day of the week. We got your entertainment, we got your news, and that's my contemporaries like to say oh so eloquently, the stats, facts, and the truth, baby. So y'all make sure y'all come back and join us every week.
Yes, sir. But that'll do it. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.
All right.